Johnny's in the basement, mixing up the medicine. I'm on the pavement, thinking about the government. The man in the trench coat, badge out, laid off, says he's got a bad cough, wants to get paid off. Look out, kid, something you did. Don't know when, but you're doing it again. You better duck down the alleyway, looking for a new friend. Man in a coonskin cap and a pig pen wants $11 bills. You only got 10. Baggy gum, Fleetfoot, face full of black soot, talking about the heat, put plants in your bed, but bone stabbed anyway. Maggies in the many say they must bust an early May. Orders from the DA, look out, kid, no matter what you did. Walk on your tiptoes, don't buy no dose. Better keep away from those who carry around a fire hose. Keep a clean nose, watch your plain clothes. You don't need a weatherman to know which way the wind blows. Get sick, get well, hang around the inkwell, ring bell, hard to tell if anything is gonna sell. Try hard, get barred, get back right rail, get jail, jump bail, join the army if you fail. Look out, kid, gonna get hit. Losers, cheaters, 6-time users, hanging around the theater. Girl by the whirlpool, looking for a new fool. Don't follow leaders and watch your pocket meter. Get born, keep warm, short pants, romance, learn to dance, get dressed, get blessed, try to be a success. Please her, please him, buy gifts, don't steal, don't live. 20 years of school and then they put you on the day shift. Look out, kid, they keep it all hid. Better jump down a manhole, light yourself a candle. Don't wear sandals, can't afford the scandals. Don't want to be a bum, you better chew gum. The pump don't work, cause the vandals took the handle.
Good evening. I'm Derek Jenkins, welcoming you once again to the latest installment of the monthly Dark Monday at Merlin series, presented by NEAT, New English American Theatre, in cooperation with DATS, Deutsch Amerikanisches Zentrum, along with the support from Merlin Kultur and the Government Commissioner for Culture and the Media of Baden-Württemberg. As so often in May, we celebrate the 2016 Nobel Prize in Literature recipient Bob Dylan. This year not with a concert, but rather with a play, something special on the occasion of his 80th birthday. Happy birthday, Bob. We know you're watching. True Dylan by Sam Shepard is a one-act play based on an actual, somewhat dramatized interview that the playwright conducted with his friend and fellow musician Bob Dylan for Esquire Magazine in 1987. It focuses mainly on Dylan's early days in New York, his meeting with Woody Guthrie, what constitutes truth, the greatness of James Dean, his musical influences, and his motorcycle crash. Interviews with Bob Dylan generally have a tendency to drift into the absurd, with the journalists exasperated and enervated beyond reason. Although Sam Shepard is a trusted friend and sometimes song collaborator, he too finds himself in a somewhat surreal situation, not dissimilar to the meandering dialogues of Estragon and Vladimir in Samuel Beckett's Waiting for Godot. Even before his career began, Dylan's been very secretive about the details of his private life and has exerted great effort into making himself rock music's greatest enigma, beginning with actually rechristening himself and inventing the scruffy hobo, vagabond persona of a troubled youth who spent his formative years running away from home in orphanages, traveling with carnivals and riding the rails all over the American western and southern states, while assimilating blues, country, and folk music on the road before eventually arriving in New York City. Bob Dylan invented himself from scratch and is an invention of his own fertile imagination. Upon arrival in Greenwich Village, he seized every opportunity to embroider his personal mystique, exhibiting a rare gift for self-mythology as he spun out a yarn of tall tales about his family and background. The conversation that resulted in the text of True Dylan is extraordinarily revealing, because Sam Shepard was not merely a muckraking reporter. He had special access and insight into Bob Dylan's personality, asking the right questions and thus making this Esquire Magazine interview more informative than usual. But he nevertheless states about Dylan, myth is a powerful medium because it talks to the emotions and not to the head. It moves us into an area of mystery. Some myths are poisonous to believe in, but others have the capacity for changing something inside us, even if it's only for a minute or two. Dylan creates a mythic atmosphere out of the land around us, the land we walk on every day and never see until someone shows it to us.
Hiya, Bob.
Hey.
Ready?
Yeah. I just gotta make a couple phone calls first. Oh, you know where I just was?
Where?
Paso Robles. You know, on that highway where James Dean got killed?
Oh, yeah?
I was there, at this spot. On this spot. A windy kind of place.
They've got a statue or a monument to him in that town, don't they?
Yeah, but I was in the care where he had the accident. Outside of town. And this place is incredible. I mean, the place where he died is as powerful as the place he lived.
Nebraska?
Well, to live.
He came from the farm, didn't he? Somewhere?
Yeah, Iowa or Indiana, I forget. But this place up there has this kind of aura about it. It's on this kind of broad expanse of land. If he hadn't have died there, he wouldn't have been James Dean. You know what Elvis said? Said if James Dean had sang, he would have been Ricky Nelson.
Is that right?
Yeah. You need anything?
Nope.
You brought some beer?
Yep.
Good. I just gotta make a couple of phone calls.
Good.
Who was playing that music before?
What music?
That piano music.
I don't know. If James Dean sang, he'd have been Ricky Nelson. Elvis said that?
Yeah. Poor old Ricky. I wish he was here with us today. I wonder if anyone ever told him when he was alive how great he was. I mean, like the rock and roll critics.
You got me.
You know, Emilio Fernandez used to shoot the critics that didn't like his movies. At parties. Maria? Listen, what's that thing gonna be like tonight? Yeah? There gonna be a lot of people there? Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Yeah? I don't know. How many people you think there'll be? Well, look, I got somebody here, so... Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, I've seen their act before. Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it in St. Louis. I don't know, 59 or 60, something like that. I was around. I've been around a long time. I can't count anymore. Okay, look, I'll talk to you later and see what's going on. Okay, bye. Sam! What's this thing supposed to be about anyway?
I don't know.
Are we supposed to have a theme?
I got a bunch of questions here.
You brought questions?
Yeah,
How many questions?
couple.
What if I don't have the answers?
Make it up.
Okay, ask me a question.
Just wait a second. I gotta see if this thing is working.
You got a tape?
Yeah. Okay, it's rolling.
Ask me something.
Right. All right. Okay. Oh, okay. Here we go. Do you have any ideas about angels? Do you ever think about angels?
That's your first question?
You want me to start with something else?
No, that's okay. Angels. Yeah, no. Angels? What is this? Oh, the Pope says this about angels. He says they exist.
Yeah? The Pope?
Yeah, and they are spiritual beings. That's what he says.
Do you believe it?
Yeah,
Have you had any direct experience with angels?
yeah, I have. I just gotta make one more phone call, all right?
Yeah.
Maria? Hi, it's me again. Yeah, I just like the sound of your voice. Listen, what's the area code for Tulsa, you know? Tulsa, yeah. All right, good. Yeah, that's okay. I don't need it right away. Oh, you did? Yeah? So it's just a few people then? What's a few? That's more than a few. Yeah, but that's not what you call a few. I don't know. Look, I'll just have to think about it, see how the day goes. Then I'll get back to you. Yeah, okay. Bye.
You want me to come back? I could go out and come back if you want. Have some lunch?
No, you're here. Stay. I'm just getting some other clothes on. I'll be right there. Ask me another question.
Oh, okay. All right, let's see. Okay. What was the first music you can remember listening to? Way back.
First music. First music?
Yeah.
Live. You mean live?
Yeah, live.
First music ever?
Yeah.
Polka music.
Really?
Yeah, polka.
Where? Up in Hibbing?
Yeah, Hibbing.
Hibbing's near Duluth, right?
Right.
I love Duluth.
Great town.
That lake.
Superior.
Yeah. Tough town, too.
Especially when it freezes over. Indians come out. Fur trappers.
Beaver.
Oh yeah, beaver too. Loons.
So you heard this polka music in what, dance halls or something?
You know, taverns. Beer joints. They played it in all the taverns. You just walk down the street and hear that all the time. People would come down into the street doing the polka. Accordions would come flying out.
Are they fighting or dancing?
Both, I guess. Mostly just enjoying the good time. People from the old country.
Polish?
Some, I guess.
Were they speaking Polish?
They were singing something. Some language. Swedish, maybe. But you know how you don't need to know the language when it's music. You understand the music no matter what language it's in. It's like when I went down and heard that Tex-Mex border music. That sounded like the same music to me, even though the language was different. It all sounds the same to me.
3/4 time.
Yeah, waltz. I love to waltz.
How old were you then?
I don't know, 9, 10?
Did you feel like you were cut off back then?
How do you mean?
I mean, being up in the far north like that, in the boondocks.
Oh. Because I didn't know anything else was going on. Why, did you?
Yeah, I still do.
Down in the boondocks, down in the boondocks. Lord have mercy on a boy from down in the boondocks.
So you didn't have any big burning desire to get to New York or anything?
No. The only reason I wanted to go to New York was because James Dean had been there.
So you really like James Dean?
Oh, yeah. Always did.
How come?
Same reason you like anybody, I guess. See something of yourself in them.
Did you dream about music back then?
I had lots of dreams. Used to dream about things like Ava Gardner and Wild Bill Hickok. They were playing cards, chasing each other and getting around. Sometimes I'd be there in the dreams myself. Radio station dreams. You know, how when you're a kid you stay up late in bed listening to radio and you sort of dream of the radio into sleep. That's how you used to fall asleep. That's when disc jockeys played whatever they felt like.
I used to fall asleep listening to baseball.
Yeah, same thing. You sort of dream of the radio into sleep. Like you were inside the radio, kind of.
Yeah, I could see the diamond with the lights lit up and the green lawn of the outfield and the pitcher's eyes looking for the catcher's signals.
But I don't know if you ever dream about music. How do you dream about music?
Well, I mean, for instance, a song like Pledging My Love.
Forever, my darling.
Yeah,
What about it?
well, I used to dream myself into that kind of a song.
Really? I didn't know you were that romantic.
Oh, yeah, I'm very romantic.
So you mean you kind of put yourself into the song when you were listening to it?
Yeah, put myself into the place of the singer.
I see what you mean. Yeah, I guess I used to dream about music then. You have all different dreams with music, though. I mean, sometimes I'd hear a guy sing a tune, and I would imagine the guy himself. What's the guy himself like? You know, like Hank Williams or Buddy Holly or John Lee Hooker. You'd hear a line like Back Snake Moan or Mississippi Flood, and you could see yourself waist high in muddy water.
Or maybe an image would come up from a line. Like, I always remember seeing this image of my algebra teacher's scalp whenever I heard that Chuck Berry line, "The teacher is teaching the golden rule," from School Days.
His scalp?
Yeah, he had one of those Marine-style crew cuts where the scalp shows through on top. I still see his scalp when I hear that line.
You don't hear that line much these days.
Nope. So you'd mainly imagine the singer when you heard the song.
Yeah, a faceless singer. I'd feel in the face.
Is that the reason you went to see Woody Guthrie when he was sick? You'd heard his music?
Yeah, I heard his songs.
Is there anybody in your life you wish you'd met and didn't?
Yeah, Bob Marley.
Really?
Yeah, we were playing in Waco, Texas one time, and I missed him.
That was pretty close to miss each other.
Yeah, I wish I'd met him.
So you went to see Guthrie in the hospital,
Uh-huh.
and you were there at his deathbed?
Close.
Were you with him up to where he passed?
No.
You spent a lot of time with him in the hospital?
Yeah.
Was he coherent?
I know. He was coherent, but he had no control over his reflexes, so he would be
What'd you talk about?
not too much. I never really did speak too much to him. He would call out the name of a song, the song that he wrote and he wanted to hear, and I knew all his songs.
So you played him to him.
Yeah.
Did you ask him anything?
No. I mean, there was nothing to ask him. What were we gonna ask him? He wasn't the kind of guy you ask questions to.
So you just kind of sat with him for days.
Yeah. I would go out there. You had to leave at 5. It was in Greystone. Gray Park or Greystone. It's in New Jersey. Bus went there. Greyhound bus. From the 42nd Street station. You would go there and you would get off and walked up the hills to the gates. Actually, it was a pretty foreboding place.
How old were you?
How old was I? I don't know, 19?
19. And what kind of stuff were you listening to back then?
Oh, Bill Monroe, New Lost City Ramblers, Big Mama Thornton, people like that. Peggy Seegers, Gene Ritchie.
Hank Snow?
I'd always listen to Hank Snow, especially Golden Rocket.
At that time, were you fishing around for a form?
Well, you can't catch a fish unless you throw the line, man.
This is true.
No, I've always been real content with the old forms. I know my place by now.
So you feel like you know who you are?
Well, you always know who you are. I just don't know who I'm gonna become. Did we ever see each other back then?
When?
When we were 19?
I saw you one time on the corner of 6th Avenue and Houston Street.
What year?
Must have been 66, 67, something like that. You were wearing a navy blue pea jacket and tennis shoes.
Yeah, that must have been me. No, that was earlier than that. I was listening to all them records on Stinson label and Folkways.
Stinson?
Yeah, Sonny Terry, Brownie McGee, Almanac Singers.
Almanac Singers?
Yeah,
What about gospel?
I always listen to gospel music. Dixie Hummingbirds, Highway QCs, Five Blind Boys, and, of course, the staple singers.
What about Skip James or Joseph Spence?
Yeah, Bahama Mama, Skip James. Once there was a Skip James, Elmore James.
Rather be buried in some old cypress grove.
So my evil spirit can grab the boss and ride.
I'd rather sleep in an old hollow log than have a bad woman.
Now, what was it he died of?
Skip James?
Yeah?
Cancer of the balls.
What?
Yeah, cancer of the balls. He refused to go to any white doctors because they were afraid he's cut his nuts off.
Don't blame him one bit. $405? $405. You're sure? I don't know. 405 sounds like Oklahoma City to me. I can't remember. All right. Yeah, 405. Think I'm gonna pass. I don't know. Sounds like too many record producers. Yeah, I'll just hang around here probably. Okay. All right. Yeah.
This is incredible.
What?
There's nothing on here but piano music.
You mean our voices aren't there?
Listen.
That's the same music I was asking you about.
When?
Before, when you first came. That's the music.
Well, our voices ain't on here.
Don't matter.
Well, I can't remember all this stuff. How am I going to remember all this stuff?
Make it up.
Well, there's certain things you can't make up.
Like what?
Certain turns of phrase.
Try it again. It's gonna be on there. You had it on record, right?
Yeah?
So it must be on there somewhere. Just gotta fool around with it.
Golden bucket.
At that time, were you fishing around for a form?
Well, you can't catch your fish unless you throw the line, Mom.
There, see? It was just hiding out.
This is amazing. Where'd that music come from?
Must have been there already. Is it an old tape?
No, I just bought it this morning.
Angels. Is it on now?
Yeah, I guess.
So, fire away.
Okay. Let's see. Do you think it's possible to have a pact with someone?
A pact? Yeah, I think it is possible to have a pact with someone. That presents a small problem for me, though. For instance, how many people can you have a pact with? And how many at the same time?
Not too many. How about women?
Oh, I don't know anything about women.
How about waitresses?
Well, it seems to me that the waitresses are getting younger and younger these days. Some of them look like babies.
So you don't have much hope for women.
On the contrary, women are the only hope. I think they are a lot more stable than men. The only problem with women is they let things go on too long.
What things?
The whole Western sense of reality. Sometimes women have a tendency to be too lenient. Like a kid can go down and bust some old man in the head, rob a bunch of old ladies, burglarize his brother's joint and blow up a whole city block. And his mama will still come down and cry over him.
Yeah, but that's just nature, isn't it? The nature of being a mother?
Yeah, I guess so. Nature.
Have you ever felt like a couple?
A couple? You mean like two? Yeah, all the time. Sometimes I feel like 10 couples.
I mean like you're part of another person. Like you belong. That other person carries something of you around with them. And vice versa.
Vice versa?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. A couple. Sure. Eve felt like that, absolutely. Listen to this. You must learn to leave a table when love's no longer being served. Just show them all that you are able. Just get up and leave without saying a word.
Who wrote that?
You got me. Roy Orbison or somebody. I don't know.
Roy Orbison.
No, I don't know. Good lyric.
Yeah. You must learn to leave the table.
I mean, you gravitate toward people who have got something to give you. And maybe you've got something that they need.
Yeah, right.
And then maybe one day you wake up and see they are not giving it to you anymore. Maybe that's the way it is.
But maybe you're not either.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe you haven't been giving it to them for years. Maybe the rhythm's off.
You know, Eve heard this theory that women are rhythmically different from men by nature.
Oh, I drink to that.
Yeah. That the female rhythm is a side-to-side horizontal movement, and the male rhythm is vertical, up and down.
You mean sort of like a flying horse?
Yeah, sorta.
But then the two come together, don't they?
Right.
So they become one rhythm.
Yeah.
So then there's no such a thing as sides in a long run. It's all the same.
It's just a theory.
Well, you can make a theory out of anything, I suppose.
Do you feel those two different kinds of rhythm in you?
Yeah, we all do. There's this slinky side-to-side thing and a jerky up and down, but they are a part of each other. One can't go without another. It's like God and the devil.
Did you always feel those two parts?
Yeah, always. Like you feel the lie and the truth. At the same time sometimes. Like remembering Giant?
The movie?
Yeah, that last scene in Giant. You know that scene where Jet Wink stumbles all over himself across the table?
Yeah.
Well, I never did like that scene. Always felt like there was something phony about it. Always bothered me, like there was a lie hiding in there somewhere, but I couldn't quite put my finger on it.
Yeah, I never did either, you know? You mean where he's drunk and alone in the convention hall or wherever it was?
Yeah. And you know why it was? Why that felt phony?
The makeup. All that gray in his hair?
No. I wish it was a makeup. Turns out Nick Adams, an actor at that time, who was a friend of James Dean's, he overdubbed the speech because James Dean had died by that time.
Is that right?
Yeah, and that makes perfect sense. That don't ring true. The end of that movie. But that's what I mean, the lie and the truth, like that.
Well, what happened to his voice?
What do you mean?
I mean, what happened to James Dean's original voice on the track? They must have had his voice track if they had the film on him.
I don't know. Maybe it was messed up or something.
Maybe it disappeared.
Yeah, maybe. Vanished. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder why James Dean was so great. I mean, was he so great or was everybody around him so great?
No, he was great.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, remember that scene in Rebel Without a Cause with Sal Mineo on the steps of the courthouse where he gets shot?
Plato?
Yeah. And he's holding Plato in his arms, and in the other hand, he's got the bullets.
Yeah.
What was it he says? They're not real bullets, or... No, what was it?
I've got the bullets.
Right. I've got the bullets! I mean, that's spectacular acting. Where do you see that kind of acting these days?
Nowhere. Well, he didn't come up overnight either. He really did study whatever it was he was about.
I guess.
Well, what do you suppose? I mean, what was it that he did was so different? For instance, in that scene with the bullets, what made that scene so incredible?
It was this pure kind of expression
Or what?
of an emotion. But it went beyond the emotion into another territory. Like, most actors in a scene would express nothing but self-pity, but he put across a true remorse.
Remorse?
Yeah, for mankind. A pity for us all. You know, this wasted life, this dumb death of an innocent kid. The death of the innocent.
So he did have a cause then.
I don't know.
Rebel with a cause. See? That's the devil's work.
What?
Words have lost their meaning. Like rebel, like cause, like love. They mean a million different things.
Like Hank Williams?
No. Nobody can never change the meaning of Hank Williams. That's here to stay. You can never change the meaning of it.
Did you used to listen to him a lot?
Overload. Who can you listen to if you can't listen to Hank?
Did he mean the same thing to you as James Dean?
Yeah, but in different ways. They both told the truth.
They both died in cars.
Yeah,
A Cadillac and a Porsche.
yeah, he was on his way to Ohio, I think. Some gig in Ohio.
I saw the car he died in. Cadillac coupe, convertible. I looked in the back seat of that car, and this overwhelming sense of loneliness just seized me by the throat. It was almost unbearable. I couldn't look very long. I had to turn away.
Maybe you shouldn't have looked at all.
Maybe. Are you superstitious?
Oh,
You had a crash, right? A motorcycle?
oh yeah. Way back. Triumph 500.
What happened?
I just couldn't handle it. I was dumbstruck.
How do you mean?
I just wasn't ready for it. It was real early in the morning on top of a hill near Woodstock. I can't even remember exactly how it happened. This big orange sun was coming up. I was driving right straight into the sun, and I looked up, even though I remember someone telling me a long time ago when I was a kid never to look directly at the sun because you'll get blinded. I forget who told me that. My dad or an uncle or somebody. Somebody in the family. I always believed that must be true, or else why would an adult tell you something like that? And I never did look directly at the sun when I was a kid. But this time, for some reason, I just happened to look up right smack into the sun with both eyes, and sure enough, I went blind for a second, and I kind of panicked or something. I stomped down on the brake, and the rear wheel locked up on me, and I went flying.
Were you out?
Yeah, out, cold.
Who found you?
Sarah. She was following me in a car. She picked me up. I spent a week in the hospital. Then they moved me to this doctor's house in town, in his attic. Had a bed up there in the attic with a window looking out. Sarah stayed there with me. I just remember how bad I wanted to see my kids. I started thinking about the short life of trouble. How short life is. I would just lay there, listening to birds chirping, kids playing in a neighbor's yard, or rain falling by the window. I realized how much I'd missed. Then I would hear the fire engine roar, and I could feel the steady thrust of death that had been constantly looking over its shoulder at me. Then I'll go back to sleep.